Hey everyone, it's your boy Cam, and what? That's 2 videos in 2 days. I know, I never make videos this often. Don't get used to it. There is no way of telling if this will continue this way. Oh well, let's move on straight to the topics we're talking about today. Animals. I thought, well, I don't know. I was wondering what kind of story I can kind of tell right now. I haven't talked about animals. Let's talk about animals. So, I got some great stories to tell you. Now, jokes aside, I know my last video was about animals. Well, I figured there's enough to make a part 2 at least for now. And I got some more great stories to share with you today. Now, let's see what we got here. Oh, I got one for you. Back when I was a baby, I think this was even before I was a baby, before I was even born. My mom and my dad lived in an apartment. They had a cat named Ninja, I believe. Yes, it was a black cat named Ninja. And Ninja was a smart cat. Now, to prove this, there was 2 instances where this cat showed its intelligence, its hyper-intelligence. And I'm going to tell you how I did. Ninja would occasionally do this thing where every time Dad would leave the apartment, Mom would leave, everyone who was gone, he would go into the bathroom and take the rubber stopper that was used in the shower tub to make the shower into a tub, to make sure the water doesn't go down the drain. He would take that and hide it anywhere in the house. It took my mom and my dad forever to find out that it was him, because they had multiple cats at the time. But they caught him once. They came inside and he had it in his mouth. And he looked at me and goes, "Oh no, they caught me." So they watched him. They figured it out. Sometimes it became a game, to the point where they would actively try to figure out where you would hide it, because it was every time they left the house. It doesn't matter how short of time it was. You'd go straight to the bathroom, pick it up, and hide it. Sometimes it'd be like in the middle, like right in front of the fridge. Sometimes it'd be right behind the tub, so that you think like, oh man, where'd he hide it? He must have hid it somewhere crazy. But really, he just hid it behind the toilet, right next to the tub. Smart. I mean, this went on for a long time, and they just learned to live with it. However, there was one thing that my mom finds the funniest story that involves Ninja. Back then, it was my dad and his friend, Chris, who used to live in the same apartment. I don't think Mom lived there at the time. I'm not sure if she ever lived there. I don't remember. I'm getting this story mixed up. But anyway, so Ninja lived with Dad and Chris. Chris was a slob. He left stuff everywhere. There was trash everywhere. There was stuff. It was a pigsty. Funny, talking about pigsties, it's an animal episode. But, in all honesty, it was gross. And my dad, being my dad, just kind of ignored it. But, my mom went over there once, and Chris had left. And this truly shows the pinnacle of Ninja's intelligence. He goes over, he grabs a piece of, like, I believe it was a burger wrapper. He grabs it with his mouth. It was over there on the floor, like by the bed or something. Grabs it, walks to the trash can. And my mom looks at my dad looks at my mom, and they say, "Man, you know your house is bad when the cat's cleaning up." Slobs. When the cat cleans up, it's time for you to clean up. But don't think I'm gonna end the story like that. I got other animal stories to share with you today. Let's see here. Oh, I got a good one. So in my last video, I talked about my dad and his cat, Big Kitty. I said that the cat had picked up the rat, and my dad told him that it was an outside toy. This is a reference to a previous story that I'll share with you now. So one week, my dad's chilling at home, and Big Kitty is more active than he usually is. He's hunting a lot of stuff, and he's bringing a lot of birds into the house. And when I mean bringing them in, I don't mean dead. They're alive. And so every time the bird freaks out, feathers get everywhere. And you cannot vacuum up bird feathers very easily because they have a needle core. So you don't want to ruin your vacuum cleaner by trying to vacuum it up. So you have to pick them out, each individually. That sucks. So my dad gets a little annoyed by it. And there's birds everywhere, like bird feathers everywhere. This is the second time this happened. He says like, I can't handle it anymore. Can't let him do it again. And then, wouldn't you know it, he walks in, bird in his mouth. My dad goes, no, no. Big Kitty stops, he looks at him, bird in his mouth still. He goes, Big Kitty, it's an outside toy. Big Kitty stops for a good few seconds and goes, alright, and takes the bird back outside. Cats are smart. I'm still baffled that he understood what he said and then took it back outside anyway. That's incredible. There's a lot of funny stories. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, so this isn't quite an animal story. I mean, it is kind of, but it's not a living animal. So, my mom works 24-hour shifts. So, before, when it was just her, whenever she'd work, I was too young to stay by myself, and my sister was too young to stay by herself. And so, we would go over to my dad's house, spend the night, while we were in school. It became a thing when my dad found this little plastic lizard, and he took it into my sister's bedroom, and he put it somewhere. Similar to, I think this is why Ninja liked to hide the spot. Because I believe my dad taught him that subliminally. My dad likes to play games, he likes to hide stuff. And so, he took this little lizard and he would hide it in my sister's room. Every time we'd go over there, we'd have to find it. And we were like, oh man, where's it gonna be this time? We'd like go in there, lift up the covers, the lizard was in like a sleeping position, like on the pillow, covered up with a blanket. It's cute. It was on the bed frame, it was on the TV, it was underneath the bed. It was hilarious. And then, one day, we get there, no lizard. We're like, what? What happened to the lizard, Dad? He's like, oh, I found this for you. And he gives us a note that's written like with cutout letters from magazines, like a serial killer. And it says, I have your lizard. If you want him back, send me $1 million by midnight. Put it on the kitchen table. So we spent the good like hour drawing and making this $1 million bill for the ransom money. And we took it, put it over there. Next day, we left, went back home. The next time we went back there, we found Lizard, our little lizard friend, with a little cast on his little plastic arm. We were like, oh, is he okay? Us genuinely worried about this plastic lizard. It just goes to show, fun can be anywhere. You just gotta find it. And I think that's good. Told a few stories about cats, and I told one story about a fake plastic lizard that makes no sense. But always remember, to like, comment, and subscribe for more if you like these videos. I'll see you in the next video. But as always, what's an outro?